I'm Austin, and this is Dungeons and Dracon Beams, book 4. Book 4 of them. Fourth one in the. You know what happens in this one?
Yep.
TPK.
They find Aximili.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cassie turns into a whale. No.
Yeah.
That's a good guess for just any Animorphs book.
Dude, Nate, what have you been doing? We've been gone so long. Oh no.
What? 1,000-yard stare. I had the summer.
In the summer.
Yeah, summertime in the city.
Yeah.
And the living's easy.
Oh, I went Regina Spectre.
Is that like a ghost from the Appalachians?
She might be. Jury's out.
Why? Walk me through the connections that you just made.
Spectre.
I got the Spectre. Walk me through the Appalachian part.
Yeah.
Is Virginia in Appalachia?
She's Regina.
Regina? Regina?
I thought she said Virginia.
No.
I thought you thought that Spectre was the Appalachian word, and I was like, if her name was Regina Haint, this would be great. But
yeah, that would be fantastic. Oh, next D&D character.
I'm Regina Haint.
Fingers crossed Dylan does not eat it today because I don't know about Regina Haint.
You can't eat a ghost, Alex. Don't worry about it. You can't eat one.
You don't know that.
That's
you don't
true.
know that.
Yeah.
I'll try it out. If somebody finds me
recipe book that I've got for 35 ways to cook ghosts.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I just made it up.
Tight.
So it can be called whatever.
I'm
gonna read it. I'm gonna read it and then post a blog with the same name and take all your ideas.
Oh,
okay.
Ooh, and there's gonna be no jump to recipe button.
No,
nope.
It's gonna be 45 pages of when my grandpappy was in the war.
Yep, and when you get to 23, it's gonna just skip to the bottom and not even let you read the rest of the list.
No one cares at that point, so it's fine.
Yeah.
Somebody tagged me.
Care.
Was it you?
You care?
You tag yourself?
I care. I want the other 6 recipes?
Well, you have to reload the page.
But won't I just get back there and it'll just skip me down to the bottom again?
No, you got to subscribe to the Patreon for that.
Oh.
You're putting a lot of barriers for me as a consumer of your content.
Yeah.
Well, okay, then let's make something else. Let's do play D&D and make that.
Can we listen to it all?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'll be in.
Except the parts I cut out.
Well, that's fair. That's for quality control.
Yeah.
You don't give us the first recipe you ever tried with the ghosts. You give us the edited one.
Right. I'm not gonna cut out Savannah getting yerked today. Like you'll see that.
Yeah. You'll see that happen for sure.
Yeah.
The official pronunciation guide came out, guys. I don't know why we're still mispronouncing it.
Oh shit.
What's the pronunciation I should be going with?
Oh, you're the Shay apologist.
Yes.
Right.
Get out.
And don't forget about the Elamist.
Oh God.
Look, that's what printed. I don't
think Austin would forget about the Elamist.
I can never. All right, I forgot about him.
Oh,
good job.
It's like
dude,
keep sliding away from it. Like you just can't focus on it.
Like in Pokemon where you gotta I'm not doing that joke because
like
it's
in
stupid.
Animorphs when you can't look at the Hork-Bajir Valley. That's the joke.
No, I got you, Nate. I was right there.
I know you got it, Alex.
Dude, I don't know where I'm at. I missed it. I'll be honest about that.
Did you Elamist it?
Dude, what's up? I only got one stream goal because I don't remember what they were from last season or whether we made them or not. So I got one.
There's no way.
Somebody come see us at DragonCon.
I love it.
Keither, you're our only hope.
Keither, we're banking on you, bro.
If somebody finds me at Dragon Con, we'll actually pay you $1 million. We'll pay you a real $1 million.
For 2024 Dragon Con.
Yeah, to be clear.
Let's go ahead and throw that clarification in.
If you can find them at 2023 Dragon Con, I'll set you up for life.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because then we figured out time travel and I can do anything with your help.
Yeah.
We'll go back and buy stocks in, I don't know, Disney.
Stonks.
Stomps. I'm going to buy Stomps. Dude, but we're going to be at Dragon Con. Alex, Jenna, are you all doing something special at Dragon Con that you do every year or anything?
Every goddamn day.
Every fucking day.
You don't know? This is the Guild of Granddaughters.
Just picturing Palpatine going, I am the Senate. Only I am the granddaughters.
I'm going to master a quest that Alex has actually mastered for me. And it's going to be beautiful. Welcome to the Pungul is the name of it this year. Because apparently putting Guild of Granddaughters or Questmaster on the information was just too hard for some people. I might not be salty enough, actually.
Is the
they really failed.
Subtitle we got fun and games or
welcome?
It should have been, and yet there was not enough room.
It didn't happen. Okay. That's cool.
There's enough room in all our listeners' heads, though. If you guys want to just keep that subtitle in your brain.
Yeah. It's up to
Hierarchy is harderarchy.
Exactly. So that's Saturday of Dragon Con at 11. I believe it's either 11 or 11:30 in Galleria 6.
Yeah, I think it's 11. Galleria 6.
Come up the Hilton, just in case.
And you should be able to watch it on twitch.tv/DC Digital Media. Yeah. And guess where else?
Dragon Con.
Yeah. It's for Dragon Con, not Detective Comics. And Late Starters also has a show. I think it's at 1 on the same channel. And this, I don't know about the same room. I'll have to get back to you on that. We have one more stream.
It's probably Galleria 6, I would think.
Yeah.
It's either Galleria 6 or Galleria 7.
It's Galleria 6, Sunday at 1 p.m. Late Starters.
Not Saturday.
Nice.
Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I got to recheck my flights because I know what leaves Sunday. I got to make sure that's not it.
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, boy.
Oh, God.
And Jenna was right about it being 11:30 for Guild of Granddaughters on Saturday in Gallery 6. But show up early. We'll be there early. I'll give you a sticker if you show up early and tell me I told you the time wrong.
Mm-hmm. There you have it. Normally, this is where we do a recap. And I do these little finger guns over at Alex, and she does it. But guess what? She don't have no recap today. She already did it a long time ago. She wrote it for me. Now, we did something cool with it. Now we're going to play that for you before we get into the episode. Does that sound good?
Good with me.
All right. Well, let me take this off then. And I lied before. You all do have to be quiet during this.
I feel naked.
I feel okay. Here we go.
The strands of the universe sing under my influence. Rippling across space and time, not dissimilar to the way the Hork-Bajir pluck at their tribe trees to communicate across their world. Often I have thought of my counterpart and I as two wizened men, moving knights and kings, queens, and bishops, and pawns against each other. I watched as my pawns, moving of their own volition, knocked a knight off the board. It isn't quite so simple as that comparison, but concessions must be made when one is simplifying. I had been playing this song for longer than the lifespan of many humans now, but not so long from my perspective. I could see time from the beginning to multiple ends of the universe and further still into the infinite. I watched the luminous thread of a being who had served me well dance across the sky and intertwine with a set of duller, muted strands. With one final great spark, it went dark. Just as ash of a burned planet layered on the soil propagates growth, so did Elfangor's death. This was my game. Reese, Grant, Kamren, Zach, and Savannah bloomed from the ashes of Elfangor's spent life. Under my unobtrusive tending, I watched their trajectories begin to illuminate, and I set my pawns loose on the board. They escaped that night from the threat of the Yeerk, who refers to himself as Visser Three. They were outnumbered and certainly overpowered, but it was always more thrilling to bet on the underdog. Tenacity is something one must possess, and as they escaped the blades of the Hork Bajir and the beams of the controllers, the game was in motion. They struggled like infants of my own species, learning how to stretch their wings and grasp with their talons for some time, and yet, even then, they did extraordinary things. They even recovered a misplaced trinket of mine, which to them contained enough power to mold the world to their will. Ants holding the power of a king, that is what they were. The first time I lost one of them, I was lucky. It was not because of the meddling of my opponent, and with the amendments to our rules, I intervened. I saved him. I saved Grant only to watch as they hurled themselves into the bowels of the enemy's territory. They suffered, limping away to fight another day, not realizing they had drawn yet another thread toward their timeline. He was now a true wild card, the first of two in our game. We meddled, Kryak and I. We had tested them in a blank slate of a world. They had performed well. It was an unexpected move when one of my pawns was knocked off the board soon after. Reese was what he was called by them. That is the nature of the games, though. One should never be too attached. I gently cast another thread and watched. Like mercury in its liquid state, the thread pulled droplets into the center mass, and they escaped with the younger brother of Elfangor, pulling him into their flock. I fully introduced myself then and revealed myself just as I was now to... Let's not get ahead of ourselves. I became known to them. My Humanimals. That is the name they chose. In revealing myself, I also opened the door to Kryak to show himself, and like a fiery whip, he tore a devastating lash across them, and a cosmic thread snapped. It pulled away from the rest of them and atrophied. Perhaps with some work, it could be restored. For now, Grant was curled away like a dying leaf from the main stem, and I'm afraid my opponent may pluck him for his own twisted creations. I watched now as they harried the Yeerks. Kryak was always so blunt. I preferred a more conservative route, something creative. Where a direct attack had failed, they became like little wrens invading the nests of the birds around them and poking holes in the vulnerable eggs before they hatched. They had learned to exploit vulnerabilities. Fiery opportunity blazed across the sky. Another one of my Andalites. Yes, mine. I had molded them eons ago. I had given them their wicked tail blades and allowed them to advance from meager prey animals to something more. Though I had not designed a tail blade like this one, toothy and crass. That is the way of nature, though. Moving on when you look away. Dylan and Mieta. Threads wound so tightly it would take an abundance of skill to extricate them from each other. Even I did not fully comprehend what it would mean when I added Dylan's timeline to the path I had originally laid out. Like the one called Zack and his dad pouring molten metal into the shape of a sword, I watched a reaction occur that hurtled the timeline forward. The speed of the progress was an alarming eddy of activity. They brought an entire city to a halt. Then they would reach out to the stars. A lonely Andalite, Aximili, calling for his people while a building crumbled down around them. The shifting stone had barely settled before they began their next torrent of destruction, and I learned that they would bring down the observatory to save one man, Dylan's father. It seemed I always had a type. They did save people. A few humans had been liberated of their captors, but the girl, Savannah, so quiet until now, she killed thousands of Yeerks. And together, Dylan, Aximili, Kamren, Zack, and Savannah did something that Kryak did not expect. In a wild gambit, they went after Visser Three. Kryak took my pawn, but now I had taken his knight. Visser Three was still alive, barely, and his host body was dead. Before me, I pulled his host body Aloran's conscious. He had played his part in this game of ours. I addressed him directly. Your name will still be spoken. You have done great things for the Andalites, but have brought pain to so many others. You will always be the abomination, Prince Aloran. Your time has come to an end. To his credit, he did not look stunned. I was a myth come to life before him, and he took it all in stride. He asked about his wife. He did not ask about his child. I gave him what answers I could before letting him fade into the recesses of the universe. His body, built of elements created in the stars and black holes and events of time and space unfathomable to a creature so simple. He was returned to time and space, and I turned back to my game as the Chi and the Hork-Bajir threatened to weave their way back into my tapestry.
Yay. Let's get back in order. All right. Can you all hear stuff in the background? All right. I'm just nervous then. No, I'm not anymore. I'm going. A sharp crescent moon hangs in the sky. The stars around it gleam. The night is clear. It's warm. Deep in the forest surrounding Ocean Grove, we see two wolves. One white, one bristled brown and black. The white one stops and cocks its head at the moon. The other races forward. Seeing this, the white wolf darts forward as well, joining her packmate. They run through the trees, leap over logs until they come to a spot where the scents change. They raise their noses and let the smells tell them where to go next. They have it. They're on the move again, but this time, more slowly, creeping. They see the creature that they have come to know waiting for them. She's not like them right now. She's different. On 4 legs, yes, but her body raises into a humanoid torso. Her slender arms end in 7-fingered hands, which she reaches out towards the wolves. She scans the surrounding areas with her stalk eyes that sit on either side of a light purple mohawk that lays to the side of her head. She has 2 more eyes where they should be, above her nose, and just 3 slits in her face that sit atop the space where her mouth should be. She is deadly. A scorpion tail sways behind her, ending in a curved blade, one side sleek and razor sharp, the backside lined with jagged saw teeth. She is the leader of their pack. As she embraces them and they move closer to her, she scratches behind their ears. The brown one rolls over and he gives her belly scratches. Suddenly, interrupting this playful embrace, the white wolf shoots to her feet. There's a flame in the distance. Then another. 2 torches have been lit and figures can be seen standing around them. One of the torches illuminates a tall, muscular teenage boy. He has light olive skin and hair that hangs to his chin, just a few shades darker. The flame reflects in his hazel eyes, and a slow smile begins to spread on his face as he holds the fire in front of him.
Savannah will reach over and hold out her hand to take the torch from Kamren. And as it passes in front of her face, she just kind of illuminates the upper half of her body, and you see a light-skinned girl with brown hair that's about shoulder length that she has pulled back into a ponytail, and green eyes. She has, squared jaw. She seems pretty strong. She's not slight, but she seems like somebody who's maybe that has a physical type job or something like that. And as she moves it across her face, she hands it to the person next in line.
Which is another teenage boy.
Zach reaches over and takes the torch. You just see a tall, thin, kind of lanky teenager with a curly mop of hair that's longer than it used to be. It looks like a haircut that's been grown out that he hasn't really taken care of. He's hunched over. He slouches, although maybe a little less than he used to. And he kind of considers for a moment before passing the torch along.
And as Dylan grabs it, what you can see is pretty much only her face and the light glittering off the leather of her jacket. But you see an olive toned skin and bright green eyes with extravagant, weird makeup for an occasion such as this. But you can see the side of her head is shaved and her hair sort of flops over to the other side, about chin length at this point.
And standing near you all is another being holding the second torch. He's like the one with the wolves and Andalite. His fur is more tan and blue, and his blade is sleek and razor sharp on both sides. And he looks in front of him, in front of you all, where yet another Andalite lay, the life gone from him. A wound that has been cleaned is still open in his chest. All four of his eyes have been shut, and he lays on a bed of dried logs, sticks, and kindling, with a damp series of blankets strung in the treetops above him to try to catch the smoke. What do you guys do?
I think Savannah's looking at Aximili and kind of waiting for him to introduce what the next steps are. She's waiting for him specifically to kind of bring up starting the ritual, the death ritual for the Andalite.
Um. Well, as he sees you looking to him and waiting for you to start, he nods and he moves forward and lowers his torch to ignite one side of the kindling.
And when Dylan sees him do that, she's going to step forward and do the same on the other side.
And then once everything is caught and it starts burning, they'll kind of like rejoin. Well, Aximili will. He'll rejoin the group and watch and wait.
Once it's being like quiet for a moment and the fire is catching and things are burning, I think Savannah's going to turn to Aximili and say, the Andalite death ritual specifically, you said you did not think the words fit the situation of his death.
Yes. I believe that he did not honor the sentiments behind the ritual, the words in the ritual.
Perhaps instead of doing that, then we can use an earth tradition. Then we won't be speaking false ritual words to him. We can say what's on our minds and honor him in the way that we see fit, in the way that he maybe actually did, instead of trying to pretend that he was better than he was.
Yes, I believe that is a good compromise with respecting him as an Andalite and what he has done, but not letting his worst actions shine through.
I think Savannah's just going to nod and then kind of look at Zach, Kamren, Dylan, and see if she's just trying to assess if they're in agreement or not.
Zach is sort of steady staring at the ground. He like feels the lull in the conversation and looks up at Savannah and kind of sees that she's looking at him, and he just goes, yeah, that's a good idea.
And Dylan's just nodding.
Same. Kamren seems he's here because like he should be, but like he just is going with the flow and he nods.
Would you like me to start?
Yes.
So Savannah will kind of bit of a sigh because this isn't her forte truly, but I think she'll kind of like square up a little bit, become like she's taking on the posture of somebody who's about to like, is being somewhat respectful to him. And then after a second, she's just gonna, may your death bring hope to the many controllers that are still out there. Hopefully with your passing, that will bring to them some sort of light that maybe their future can be better with your passing. And then she'll just kind of step back.
Zach looks over at Savannah as she's stepping back and then looks at Lauren, now starting to catch on fire, and goes, I'm sorry that you were free for so short a time after so long being forced into a role that I'm sure you never wanted. Despite what may have happened in the past, you deserve to be remembered honorably. And then he looks like he's about to say something else, and then he just is quiet and steps back as well.
Kamren will kind of just stay silent and watch.
Dylan is actually going to step over to Kamren, noting his silence, and she's just going to grab his hand and sort of hold the torch down a little and say, relationships with fathers is almost always difficult in some ways. Whether you're a good dad, a great dad, or not so great. My hope is that you did teach lessons that can be passed along and can be looked on fondly. And if you can't, if you didn't, then I hope that this action actually brings peace.
And Kamren will squeeze your hand at the end of that and say, yeah, peace. And then Aximili will step up. And he'll say, he'll raise his head actually in his stalk eyes, and he'll say, his tailblade combat was exceptional, and he struck down his enemies with great strength and led many battles. His name will forever be remembered in Andalite history. And then he'll step back. You all watch? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think at the end of Aximili doing that, Savannah's just gonna kind of look at him and give him like a smile and a nod, like you did good, you did it well. And then, yeah, I think just quietly watch.
And you see your blankets are working great. They're catching the smoke as the fire crackles on, and Alaron is sent back into the universe. His body. What do you guys do?
Zach just watches the flames until anyone else makes a move.
I think Savannah's is just practical about it, right? Like once the flames die down, once things are kind of going out and his body is fully gone, she's just going to start like, disassembling, going to try to get the blankets out of the trees, like erasing the evidence of what they've done there.
Zach follows suit. As soon as it looks like there is work to be done, he's grabbing the other end of the line or whatever.
Same. Kamren helps.
Dylan is going to definitely start helping. But as soon as it looks like it's too many cooks in the kitchen, she's going to take that as her cue to walk off toward the woods.
Yeah, you guys are a little ways away from the cabin. But yeah, you walk off into the woods a little ways. What are you looking for?
She's not necessarily looking for anything, but she does. This is hitting her really hard. Everything's hitting her really hard because she still can't imagine not trying, not having any sort of relationship with your dad that would make sense to her. So she basically makes it a few steps into the woods, far enough away that they can't hear her, and she's crying.
Yeah, you kind of get near a tree, kind of lean, and as you like start to cry, a few minutes go past. And then you hear a voice in your head. Dylan.
She sort of wipes her face and tries to make it look like she's not crying.
As you like wipe the tears from your face, you can like a blurry vision kind of comes in focus, and you see Matea with 2 wolves standing beside her. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
And she does kind of like, you see one of her stalk eyes kind of peek over you and back like towards the group. Was the ceremony a success?
Yes, it was a success.
Why are you feeling sad?
Honestly, I think I'm sad for you.
And you see her head will lower a little bit at that. Dylan, you do not need to feel sad for me. He was not good.
I could tell that from what you showed us. I feel bad that you didn't have good.
Not from him. Ciro took me when I was very young, when I got sent to the Hork-Bajir homeworld. And he treated me no different than his kids. I would consider him more of a father than Alaron was.
So Alaron killed your father, essentially.
In a way.
I'm starting to understand a little more.
She thinks for a second, and like as she sees like the remnants of the tears on your eyes, she'll say, I wasn't going to tell anyone this ever, but in the end, he said his apologies. They did not sway my choice, but he did denounce what he did in the end, and he accepted his death. It may seem like an act of bravery to stare death in its face and embrace it. But again, I think it just says something else about his character. I don't think he did it because he was ready. I think he did it to save his honor, to salvage what he threw away his whole life. It's a very convenient time to change your ways, though.
Dylan's going to sort of squat down so that she's eye level with the wolves and hold out her hand and say, yeah, it seems like the easy way out.
As you hold out your hand, she will look to the white wolf and roll me an animal handling check with advantage.
Okay.
Slowly, as this white wolf looks back up to Matea, she looks back to you and creeps over and lets you put your hand on her forehead as she like leans in under it.
Yeah, Dylan's just going to give her scritches.
And she warms
Easy,
up a
like
little bit
as
more.
much as she will allow.
Yeah. Yeah. At first she's timid, but like once she feels that good scritch that she knows is good, she leans into it a little bit more and gets a little bit more comfortable. Dylan, the Andalite people can be good, but their hierarchy is flawed. Everything is based around the Andalite fleet. All the decisions are made with the war efforts in mind. And I kind of learned that I'm not the only one that sees it this way. Illyra also felt the same way that I do, that this just creates a society that looks at war like some kind of reward. They seek out an honorable death. They hold their honor in such high regard that they sweep their own actions under the rug at any cost, just to maintain the lie that they tell themselves. That's not what honor is. They have honor confused with glory.
She's going to keep scritching the wolf. And she's like, yeah, humans have a really, really long and convoluted history with that as well.
At least your society has come to the point where they're thinking more about the individuals. And, well, I don't know about the society. I don't know too much, but I know from the people that I've met, the individuals are looked at over the shared population. And that's not really what it is with the Andalites. Alaron is responsible for his actions, but something needs to be done so that Andalites don't need to feel that they have at all odds. They don't have to do anything at all odds to be great in our society. There are other ways. Humans have many different ways that you can become great. You need to either be a scientist or a great warrior with my people.
Dylan's going to give a few last scritches and then stand up and wipe her hands on her pants and say, all right, so an artistic revolution for your people it is.
You see the Andalite eyes smile. Yes, please.
We're going to need so much. We're going to need so much stuff. I mean, art history classes for everyone.
Yes.
Just start putting paint in the hands of kids. Like, just give them paint. It's going to be messy.
That reminds me, some Andalites do use a form of paint. I believe you call it dye, and they change the color of their fur. Some of the younger Andalites.
Dylan has the biggest fucking smile on her face, and she's like, oh, we've got dye. Would you like some dye?
Yes. It is time for a change. A new me.
Okay, listen. I said some things the other day. I need you to know I was coming in so hot. I'm still upset and I still don't fully, I'm working toward it. Okay. We're getting there, but let's go dye your hair.
Okay. That sounds amazing. And she'll join you. The wolves will follow for a little while, but then once you get closer to the cabin, they kind of slink back. What about the rest of the Humanimals?
Zach is being very much the awkward teen. I mean, after everything's cleaned up, like he's just kind of hanging out wherever everyone else seems to be. There are a lot of glances towards Axe to try to read his mood to see if there's anything that he needs. Like he's got to be feeling weird right now.
If you want to give me an
And
insight
it's
check.
yeah, I'll do that. Similar glances towards the others, but with less of an expectation that there's actually anything needed. I've lost my character sheet. Sorry.
Oh no! Well, it's been
Oh, no.
7 months, so
No, I had it pulled up. I just
Figured.
didn't know where it's at.
could be
All right,
under
let me
some
see.
papers. I'll say Aximili is moving kind of like not as confident as he normally is. Like, there's something on his mind. You can't really tell, but yeah, it's like this whole thing is doing something to him. He's got something going on in his head.
At whatever point, like the cleaning up winds down, or whatever, I notice this. I'm just gonna walk over and kind of put a hand on his shoulder. Hey, you all right, man? Do you want to talk?
Oh, hey. Hello, Zach. I am okay. And he'll like look back at like the pile of stuff that he's messing with. Maybe
I
it's
thought you meant the
blankets, maybe it's
pile of
ashes.
ash and bones.
He looks at ash and bones.
So, I mean, dude, if you want to talk, like I'm here. You know, like this is pretty heavy shit.
It is. And my people, even in the academy, they prepare you for things. They try to prepare you for things like this. We go to war, we fight, some Andalites die. And so that aspect of it is always hard, but there are tools to help get through it. What is kind of in my head right now is after the night at the observatory, I'm looking at my people different. I'm questioning things that I haven't questioned before. And Savannah has showed me a few things and told me a few things. She showed me about the traditions that you have with Thanksgiving. I I've heard about Christmas and Santa Claus. And with those, some of them, Savannah showed me how we can combine the different traditions and how they work and be one. Humans and Andalites can be together. This is just another one of those situations. And this is one that just doesn't affect me, though, because Alaron had to go through this. He was an Andalite. He knew that when an Andalite dies, that the ritual is performed for them. But he also didn't lead his life in the way he should have to honor what the ritual says. So it just leaves me with thoughts in my head on whether it was right or wrong. But I believe that it's change, and we have to change.
What are you unsure about the rightness or wrongness of? The end of his life or celebrating his life?
Not celebrating his life in the way that the Andalites would have. While I'm happy that we did it our way, we combine your traditions with mine. I think that is the right move for all of us to move forward, but I do worry that he wouldn't have wanted that.
That's fair. And you know, you have to respect the wishes of the dead. So that's something to consider. Yeah, I don't know, man. This whole thing is pretty tough. So, like I said, like if you just, if you need to talk about it, doesn't have to be tonight. Just let me know. I agree though. Like I like to see where human and Andalite culture can overlap, where we share things. Because, like, after everything's over, it'd be pretty tight if we could actually still hang out,
Yes, I would like that as well.
He just kind of puts his hand up for a fist bump.
He wraps his hand around your fist.
Close. Pretty close, man.
Yes.
Okay. And then he pats him on the shoulder and walks off again.
What's Savannah up to?
Savannah is cleaning up, and I mean, she's noting as, Dylan wanders off, and then as Zach and Aximili kind of go to their conversation, and she's not trying to listen in, but since she and Kamren are kind of the ones that are left at this point cleaning up, I think when she's at some point when they're like, grabbing the sheets, folding them, moving stuff around, she'll just in passing talking to Kamren go, I can handle this. You can go. I know you weren't pumped to be here, as you would say.
Well, I don't know. Fought that guy for so long. Matea doesn't like him. He did some bad shit. I don't mind helping clean up though. He rolls up a blanket, not folded or anything, just rolls it up.
Savannah will just gently take it from him and be like, that's okay. I got this.
All right. He grabs a different one and rolls it up. I'll get this one.
Please don't.
All right. Got to do it all herself. And he looks at you and smiles.
I think she just looks slightly surprised. She didn't quite know how to interpret that. She thought he was being serious at first. And she'd be like, no, you don't. It's okay. I've got it. You don't have to do this. You don't have to spend more time. I understand where you're coming from. We've fought him for a very long time, and we don't know how much was him and how much was the Yeerk.
Well, after he was infested, that doesn't matter to me because we could just chalk that up to the Yeerk. But he tried to take out all of the Hork-Bajir.
He did.
So, But Savannah, that doesn't mean you have to do all this physical labor yourself. I can help carry stuff. And he flexes.
I know you can. I'm just saying you don't have to.
Well, he continues to pick stuff up. I will anyway.
Okay. And then she'll just hand him an end of a blanket and force him to do that thing where you fold it by walking to do the ends and flip the side. She's just going to start doing that to him.
Yeah, he does it. So he does look down at the pile of ashes and bones and stuff. We gonna leave that?
We are not.
That's gross.
You don't have to participate.
I feel like a real dick if I didn't.
Well, let's not tackle it ourselves. And she's going to you'll already see the morphing start to bubble out as she's saying that.
He'll say, "Oh, I thought you were gonna say we're gonna make Zach and Axe do it," but all right. He like waits a second to see what you're going, to see what he should go.
She's going to Moose.
I don't have that one.
No, perhaps you could do something with wings.
Oh, I do have that one. Starts to morph.
Oh boy. So I think as she's bubbling up and morphing and getting bigger and growing and like, the antlers start sluicing out and all that jazz, she'll just go from like the human, like, so what I'm thinking is if I can take the moose body and then switches over to thought speak, then I could just use the antlers to help spread out some of the larger stuff. And if you have the wings, you can kind of flap and get the top layer off and spread that in the grass. And between the two of us, we should be able to move it.
Yeah, that sounds, and then the beak shoots out of his nose and you hear thought speak. Good. Just between me and you, something that I was thinking, don't think bad about me about it or think I got a fucked up mind, but did his blade survive the fire? Because, I mean, Zach is making a sword and maybe we could...
Savannah immediately. First of all, I was wondering the same thing about the tail blade. We are not giving it to anyone. We are just seeing. I'm just curious because if it can cut through metal, why would flame affect it?
Right. Is it bone? Is it a metal of its own? Is it diamond? I heard diamond is really hard.
I mean, relatively speaking, yes, on a scale of hardness, but that's a different conversation.
What? Yeah, but what if his tail is made of diamond or something like diamond?
I'm sure this is a question we could ask Aximili at a later date. I think between the two of us, we can just keep this thought and maybe exploration to ourselves.
Okay. But we're definitely looking for it. And like as the morph finishes, he like, I was just gonna say he waddles up to the end of the pile.
It would be foolish not to notice that sort of thing. These are the type of details we can't overlook.
And he start to flap his wings to move some of the ash. And give me a perception check. With advantage because he's helping you.
As a moose?
As a moose.
Okay, great. Let me pull that up.
It's a perception. So you get any bonuses like that the moose can give you, but you can use your own stats as numbers.
All right. Oh my God. This feels so wrong using like, how can I best do my I'm just going to use my perception check. This is going to be fine. The moose is not going to have more than me.
Yeah, moose. Oh. Kamren starts a little too quick, and as he flaps, this ash goes up into your moose face and blinds you for a second. And he's like, "Oh, sorry."
I'm sure it's just sneezes from then on out. Horrifying dead body sneezes. And I think it'll just be that, and then thanks, Kamren.
After a few minutes go by and you guys get everything done that you need done, like if you're putting it in bags to take it somewhere or whatever you're doing, it's done. Perfect. And as you turn to in your moose body to go take this last bag of shit over to the pile. You hear your hoof hit on something that has a different sound and a different texture than the ground.
What is it?
It's a tail blade.
I think she will like back up and look. And I'm imagining it's kind of you step on it and then back up and try to like Moose vision is not great. So it's going to be kind of like that look. And then Kamren, I believe I found the tail blade.
As like you're in the middle of that, he jumps down in front of you and he says, I found the tail blade.
Great. We should probably place that somewhere where no one can find it. This is too obvious of a sign.
All right. Do you want me to take it?
Do you have somewhere where no one will find it?
He thinks for a second. Yeah, nods his little owl head. I have to wait till we go back, though.
Go on.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yes, please.
All right, I can't hide it there then. It's my secret hiding spot.
What do you mean your secret hiding spot?
My secret hiding spot. I gave it up once, a few weeks ago, as a slip up, and I'm not saying it again. Savannah, don't try it.
I'm going to try it. Who did you give the location to?
Okay, I gave it to you and Zach and Grant. Damn it, Savannah. Stop.
Okay, well, that doesn't sound like the best place for this then.
Yeah. It was Zach's treehouse.
Maybe I'll take care of this.
Huh. You know how to get me to talk.
Years of training.
You haven't known me for years. He grabs the blade with his talons.
I think if he's taking the blade, then Savannah will just continue to where she was going. And if that was the last kind of cleanup that they were doing, then she'll start demorphing by, I'm imagining she left her clothes that were not morphing clothes.
No, they're ripped. They're ripped to shreds.
Sure, fine by me, whatever.
Just kidding.
No, she'll go over there and start demorphing and, getting her normal human clothes on.
Yeah, and I'll say that you guys noticed during all this that Dylan was walking with Matea. Like Matea wasn't really trying to hide from you all, but she wasn't, with you all. But yeah, you guys can get that stuff and head out and make it back to the cabin.
Dylan is walking straight to her car.
Yep, Matea will pause when you guys get to the walkway that's in between your car and the cabin, and she'll look to you go to your car and just wait.
All right. She gets there and she pops the trunk and she pulls out a bag. And then she pulls out another bag and she's like, what color are we going?
Oh, what color would contrast well with the rest of my fur?
Ooh, okay, all right. And she puts the bags down and just starts rifling through them. She's like, all right, I've got this blue that's really nice. Let's see. I've got this really dark green. That would look really good. I've got, this is wild. I do also have bleach in here because obviously I need it. So we could go yellow. I have yellow.
I like that. Like the hummingbirds. Some
All right.
hummingbirds. The
Okay.
honeybirds. The ones that eat a lot of honey turn yellow.
Birds don't eat honey, first of all. Let's just nip that right in the bud. You may
Oh.
think that it's honey, but it's just the nectar that's coming out of flowers.
Pretty sure that that's honey, but okay,
No,
yes.
it may be honey in your culture. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's not here.
Oh, I need to talk to Kamren and Aximili. I heard them over talking, and they were saying that. So
That makes sense.
True.
Yep. Yeah, let's just not trust them on, honestly, anything, really.
yes, it was strange when Kamren said that the birds taste like honey as well. So, I don't know how he would know that.
Well, Kamren does eat birds. So he would know more about what birds taste like than I do. But from what I remember, it's not honey unless you put honey on them. And then I guess they would taste like honey. Huh.
Oh,
But I don't eat birds, so I don't. Let's
Yes,
not.
me
I
neither.
don't know.
it sounds horrible.
Yeah, it's pretty gross, honestly.
I've seen things eat other things, but I do not know how they do it. Wouldn't it wiggle all the way down?
Well, this is a whole other thing. So we normally kill them. Normally,
Oh.
there are some things that are eaten live, and that's also really messed up to me. It's weird. I don't like it. I don't like the thought of it.
It is very morbid.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna judge somebody for eating the meat of an animal because that's kind of what our bodies are made to do, right? But if you want to try it one day, you can have one of them take you to try it.
Maybe I will need to think on that. Maybe a cookie is the first.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna get cookies. All right, hair. Let's do the hair. We'll bleach the hair. We'll put a color in. I'll let you pick. I have so many colors, by the way, because I've just been feeling it too, you know?
Hmm. Well, maybe we can match.
Okay. I don't know that red's going to go with purple, but yeah.
Well, I will do the bleach then. I will
All right.
try that one.
Let's do it.
She'll like join you, and as like whoever opens the door, you see just a great horned owl swoop down and says, "Oh, watch out!" and flies into the door and up like into the door, up the steps.
Kamren.
Sorry.
And Dylan's going to turn around to Savannah and be like, coloring hair. You want to color hair?
Oh, do you need my help?
Probably. That would be great.
I've never done that before, but sure.
It's so easy. I will walk you through every part of it.
Oh, okay. I am here to help, I guess.
Hell yeah.
Zach, anything you doing?
Zach's caught between like wanting to goof around and still feeling some kind of way. So I think he's gonna go inside and like sort of on autopilot, like make a sandwich, and then kind of just sit on the couch and go between watching Bob Ross and watching them doing hair. And eating a sandwich with the fumes of bleach in the house. That's perfect.
Aximili goes into his little workshop room and is like monitoring the laptop and doing things with the crystals. Kamren does eventually come back down in human form and kind of like side eyes Savannah and winks.
Savannah just rolls her eyes at him.
He sits down on the couch and reaches for the other half of Zach's sandwich, like eyeballing Zach, waiting for him to stop him.
Zach does not let him have his sandwich.
Dude, how many sandwiches have I made for you?
I mean, you have done that here, and he like hands him half
Thanks,
of it.
man.
He never cut it though, so it's just the half he hasn't eaten. Why would you cut a sandwich that you just made for yourself on autopilot? You just don't eat it. So he just
let me have a bite.
Yeah, all right, man. Here, no, you can have the rest. It's fine. That's what's called a normal sandwich. That's just turkey and cheese with some mustard on it, man.
Now you can keep it.
What? Okay.
Thanks.
Would you like it better if it had
a Reese's cup on it? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Cool.
Turkey and peanut butter.
Yeah, man. I think when Zach finishes the sandwich, he's gonna wander over towards where the hair is and go, "Can I do like a streak? You guys got some leftover bleach? I might throw some extra shit in here."
Dylan walks over to Zach immediately and starts like putting her hands through his hair, and she's like,
Slaps on his
okay?
head. Yeah, go ahead. Whatever.
And she's like looking at his roots and everything. She's like, "Oh, you don't even need to bleach it."
I just thought like maybe having some blonde and then like some platinum blonde would be cool, you know, like some extra.
Oh,
right. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, we can do that. And she like grabs some
How about
foils
it?
out of the bag and is like, "Let's
He just
do
sits
it."
down. He sits down and looks at his phone. Starts playing with his phone.
Nice.
Checking for texts, like madly refreshing texts.
You have some text from Melissa Chapman. Just
yeah?
just
Like
like,
what? What
hey,
did they say?
What's up?
Is it possible for him to selfie in a way that does not give away his location?
Yeah.
He
have you ever seen those videos though where somebody finds a fucking tree and they're like,
that's what
"All
I'm.
right."
Oh, yes, I have.
So
Joey,
yes,
is it
with
Joey
that
Monkey? Is
caveat.
that his name? Well, no. So we're inside.
Kind of make
first
sure
of
that
all.
you don't have an andalite in the background.
Make sure there's no window in the background. You know what? I'll take the picture in such a way that the only thing behind him is like Dylan's body. So, and then her hands in his hair, like doing the, and he'll just take that and be like, "Getting my hair done." Type that out.
Yeah, you get a text back. Ooh, what you doing with it?
And he like types a surprise. It's gonna be a surprise.
Okay, well, you got to show me first.
I can't do that. There are other people here.
Silly. You know what I mean.
I'm just saying it's just logistics.
Okay, well, I guess we'll have to set up a time then.
Dylan's not even being sneaky.
Yeah,
She's
you're just
looking
watching
directly at his phone. And she's like, "Fucking play in the space with her, my dude. She just wants you to say absolutely."
This is the part where I would normally like just turn the phone off and then like put it back in my pocket. Is that what I should do?
No.
Oh, okay. Go on.
Well, you've already.
And then
messed
while
it up.
Dylan's speechless, he just starts typing in a thing. And he goes, he just types in, yeah, time and place.
Well, how about we meet we meet in front of the school early tomorrow.
Romantic. Sure. Yeah. I love going to school early. And he sends that.
Well, we can sit outside. I'll bring coffee.
I do like coffee. Deal.
Me too. And she said, "I like you." And she's like a winky face smile.
He sends the emote of the the nails being painted, you know.
She gives a laugh react to it. And then she says, going to bed. See you tomorrow morning.
He just says goodnight. Yep.
Night.
Dylan is like hands fully in his hair and like, but looking at Savannah and everybody, Savannah and Kamren, just like.
Zach
don't-
opens TikTok.
I don't think Savannah has any idea what you're trying to get at. She's like, okay.
She's just like raising her eyebrows furiously at you. You know.
I think she just looks lost.
Savannah, Zach's got motion.
Motion?
Yeah. Girls like him.
Yes, I know. I saw him making out with one at school the other day.
What?
Dylan's head whips around.
What was her
My
name?
man.
Kendall? Was it?
Kendall.
Kinsley? Brinsley?
Which one?
Brindle?
They're all sisters. You met out with all three of the sisters. Kendall, Brinsley, and Kinsley.
I don't remember. Maybe.
Oh, man.
What is going
This-
on?
Zach's out here.
Zach just like
You do
holds
be
up a
out
skate
here.
video to show Dylan. Like, look at that. It's just a fucking
Video.
random ass skate video.
Dylan's like,
Oh.
no, tell me about these people.
That's Bam Margera, and he was
No,
really
literally
he was
not.
on
You
Jackass.
know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I need the deets.
I don't know. What do you mean?
Brinsley, Kinsley, Melissa.
Yeah, well, like you know, they're nice. So it's only polite to be nice back.
By kissing them?
It's a nice thing to do.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
He got you there, Dylan.
I mean, okay.
Okay,
I
good
think
talk.
He does.
Keeps looking at his phone.
Are you trying to say that it is just polite to make out with somebody? Like it's a polite thing to do?
I mean, I wasn't gonna say polite. Not polite, like, but like, you know, if they're
Nice.
yeah, it's nice. It's fun. Is that a better word for it?
Okay. Sure.
They were into it. I was into it.
Were you into it? You were still holding your skateboard.
What am I gonna do? Like,
He's into
let my-
skateboards too.
Yeah. I didn't. You don't use your hands for kissing.
My guy. No, yeah, you're right.
Maybe Zach don't got no motion.
And Dylan just turns to Kamren and holds up a fist.
I mean, not all the time.
Tell us the times that you do use hands and then the times that you don't use hands.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
as he
yeah,
says-
yeah.
As
Okay, I'm gonna
Kamren
need
and-
a diagram. Like, I need a chart so I can explain this. Who's got paper?
I have paper, Aximili says, but someone is outside.
Fuck. What?
What?
Yeah, Savannah's up, like on her feet, like who? And she's already headed towards the door.
You can see out the window that there is this tall, skinny man with blonde short hair, and he's kind of wearing a trench coat.
Zach is
I mean, he's
halfway
just
to a
standing.
thing, Morph.
He's standing in the pathway that leads up to the porch of Oscar's cabin.
Oh man, I think Savannah's just outside, and like she'll just step out and be like, "Can I help you?"
He smiles and says, "Yes," and then his whole body shimmers, and the image is replaced with one that you're familiar with, Xander.
Can you not do that ever again?
I apologize.
I think she's like deep breath, like letting down all of the sort of immediate anxiety and just being like, "Okay, what do you need help with?"
I believe we should talk.
Okay. And she's just standing there waiting.
He says, okay. I have had a rough few days. I've tried to navigate the role of Visser as best I could with what little I knew. And at this, Aximili is definitely like by you. Kamren finishing the rest of Zach's sandwich, just kind of leaning on the wall behind the door looking out.
Zach's out there. He's on the porch. Inhuman morph, not.
I think at the inhuman morph. I think at the point where he starts mentioning Visser 3, then it becomes like an okay, like come inside, like let's have this conversation.
Yeah, and you guys regroup inside.
Once Dylan sees that everybody's coming inside, she takes my Taya into the kitchen and is like, "Okay, it's time to rinse. Let's go get this out of your hair, please, so it doesn't break off."
Yes. She'll go in there and kind of lean over the sink. But Xander...
Sorry, I just imagined we were doing Matea's whole body. So I was like, what do you mean she leans over the sink?
I don't know
Like,
why I
the
thought
hair.
it was like I think it's just like the whole centaur aspect of it. I was like, obviously it's gonna be mohawk, but then also like on the rump, like you're gonna be doing like
Hell yeah.
It could be. Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say she's just getting the first part off. Who knows where
Got
it's
to
all
dye
at.
that rump. That's obviously.
obviously.
Rump.
Well, you ain't got no
Classic
motion.
saying.
Anyway, please continue with the actual story. I apologize.
No, I think we should continue to delve into where Maitea is getting hair dye, please.
Fair enough.
Dylan.
No, Austin, where does she want it? Because Dylan would do it wherever she wanted.
I mean, I like the idea of the mohawk going all the way down, like the bleached mohawk.
Yeah.
Like at first she's like, "Yeah, just do my mohawk. Let's see how it looks." And then you're like, "But it could be a full body mohawk."
Yeah.
What if it's an accident? Like it just drips, and you're like, "Well, we can turn this into
It's-
something."
Well, that would be some very wet bleach.
You're right. I'm thinking of just dye, not bleach.
As this is going on and like they're rinsing off, you all can still hear this, Dylan. But Xander will kind of take a seat and he'll say, "Yeah, I tried to navigate the role of Visser as best I could. Although I didn't know much, and we maybe could not have picked a worse time to do this. He was supposed to be going to the mothership to answer for his most recent failures. Sub-Visser 11 was here to inspect the new landing and infestation point, and not only saw that they were behind schedule, but he suspects that an Andalite assassination attempt was against him while he was there. He thinks that the Visser was in on it. Sub-Visser 11, just so you know, is the alien that I found out was at the point that you all found in the woods 10 miles away. Yes, the construction site. Yeah, he was there inspecting it, and after that, he saw that they were behind schedule, and he thinks that that assassination attempt was on him because apparently the Visser is not opposed to killing his own to further himself. After the attack at the construction site and then the attempt on Visser 3 within 24 hours, they think that there are a lot more of you than I know about, at least. It did not help the Visser's case, nonetheless. It did not help the Visser's case, nonetheless, but they gave him a little more than a week to deal with the problem. 3 Chondrona cycles to be precise, one of which has already passed. But after that, they will have me travel to the mothership and stand trial. That trial consists of a Visser telling their side and their accusers telling theirs to the Council of 13 and a host of other important controllers within the Yeerk Empire. And I'm afraid once I go there, I will not be able to keep up my deception. Someone will have to face repercussions for the assassination attempts, and Yeerks are not known to be forgiving. My programming will not let me escape them. It will be impossible for me to be able to make a decision without them finding out because someone will be hurt.
Someone other than yourself, you mean?
Correct.
Couldn't you like use holograms to like take the blame and let them kill the hologram, but like really you just kind of like go invisible or whatever, and it's just a hologram of a fake Andalite dying, and then like
while
do
our hologram technology is very, very advanced compared to any of the other species we're talking about, there are still limitations when it comes to actually touching a hologram that I'm projecting. So yes, I can make it look like that, but the person that was doing the execution would know that they're not really killing someone in the moment.
Okay.
Or harming them in any way.
I think while Zach is asking this question, Savannah's going to try to like go back to where to Aximili and just like really quickly, quietly, like she's just trying to get this answer without anybody else knowing. Ask him, when was the Andalite? When were they supposed to be here? How long until they're
around 2 of your Earth months?
okay? And so she'll turn back and hear like the 1 week thing. So 6 more days precisely. 2 feeding cycles left.
Correct.
All right.
I came back here to see what the next stages of the plan were. We have until that day, I guess, to do what we're going to do, or abandon this plan or change it.
Can you give me more information about what you were going through and what you found out from stepping into the Visser's place for these days?
I have his routine over the last 3 days has not been his normal routine because we have had to scramble after the assassination attempts, is what they're calling them. They really kept me secluded within the Yeerk pool. I can give you the layout and help you figure out your way through there if you're going down there. I guess, what specifically are you looking for? And I can help narrow down whatever you're looking for.
Unfortunately, it's not specifics I'm looking for. I'm looking for any information that could help us. When people are coming in, it's good to know about Subvisor 11, what they intend to do about the assassination attempts, what what's going on here. And then I think we should look for an out. We should look for a way to let them know that Visser 3 has been killed and you can leave in that attempt. I do not believe we should have you go to the mothership. I can't think of a worse sort of thing than having them know about your presence when they are unaware of it currently.
For the last 3 days, it has been a scramble and a lot of information. I'm taking everything that I can in and processing it while I can, but they were mostly worried about keeping the sub-Visser safe after he returned to the Yeerk pool and getting him back to the mothership.
Is he returned?
Yes, he has. He is one of Visser 1's elite force. Mostly, there was not much other than scrambling going on the last few days, trying to figure out how the Andalites found the places that they did where they attacked and beefing up security.
I have a question. What happens if Visser 3 dies? Who takes over?
There is a hierarchy within the Yeerk Empire, so naturally the next person in line, it would seem to be, would be Visser 4. That doesn't mean that they won't choose somebody else, but Visser 4 is next in line.
Do you think there's any way that, like, in the next few days you could find out who we would have to deal with next? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's going to be after us?
Who will take over for Visser 3 when he's dead?
Right. And then, like, maybe using your temporary position to, like, get us close enough to see what we can find out or something. And then I also had an idea for staging. If you stage Visser 3's death and make it look like this sub-Visser 11's fault, then, like, it sounds like there'd be some consequences for that. Like,
you hear in your head,
off the board.
That is a wonderful idea, Zach.
I don't know how you pull that off, but, like, if you've got 6 days, I say we use 5 of those to try to figure out what we can, and then stage your death on the last day.
I maybe have an addition to your plan, Zach.
Please.
So, first of all, the intel collection, yes. Is there any way that you can get into whatever Visser 3 has access to and download it, whatever it is, passwords, plans, Yeerk pools, anything like that? Collect everything you can.
I will. I've been doing my best. Some of the more sensitive information is locked up via biotech.
Whatever you can get to.
It is not a Yeerk technology that they're using to lock some of these systems. I have no clue what it is.
I mean, if you need bio, we kind of have the lockdown on DNA type shit, so maybe we could help.
This is true, but do you have Aileron's DNA?
Kinda.
Kamren quickly glances towards Savannah and then back towards Xander.
We've got some burnt, and Zach just stops at that.
Dylan, you do see a stalk eye kind of level at yours for a second, but then go back to, like, looking around as they say that.
She, like, full on turns her head and then, like, just kind of looks at the floor.
Matea's being real quiet too.
We may have a way around the DNA thing. So if we're going to make it look like Visser 11 is the one that is making an attempt on Visser 3 in his death, is there any way that we could get a somewhat important ship involved in this and have him sabotage it and crash that ship? Perhaps we could take out another part of their forces with this.
Have sub Visser 11 crash the ship? Is that what
Make
you're
it look like he does with Visser 3 on it.
I believe we would need to get him back to the planet. He is on the mothership right now, but that's he is supposed to be inspecting things. So
could we not leave some sort of paper trail, some way for them to track through the system as if he had done it before leaving, as if this had been his plan all along and sabotage the ship?
I see. This may be doable. I will keep this in mind as I gather my information.
How do ships communicate?
Via space transponders.
Cool. Is it like a video, like on Star Trek?
Yes, there can be.
I mean,
It depends on what the ship is.
he
the
like
ship-
looks at Axe and then Maitea, and he's like, I mean, not literally fucking Star Trek, but you know what I'm saying? Like, could you make a fake recording that looks like you're on the bridge of a ship and then beam that as though it's coming from the ship so that they blow that ship up?
Are you saying you would like to make it so?
And he just points.
Dylan full on just like
fucking
cackles.
points at Savannah like, yeah.
She gets it.
I think it'd be logical. And then he shuts up.
I got an idea.
Who's that? Is that Kamren?
Kamren?
Mm-hmm.
I can never tell if it's Kamren or Maitea or Axe or Xander or
It's Austin.
it's just Austin. Austin shows up.
Hi, I'm Austin, and I'm the
Hi,
newest
I'm Austin.
player on Dungeons and
Got
Dracon
it.
Beams.
I'm playing Rick. I'm
Rick
playing.
Rowe.
I'm playing Rick Rowe.
Rickrow.
Never gonna give you. That's what you can play on the bridge too. What was I about to say?
Wish I
Kamren.
knew.
Kamren has an idea.
I got an idea. We have somebody that can walk in and out of Yeerk facilities whenever they want without being questioned here on Earth. Why aren't we loading up Xander with C4 and putting different bombs all around the Yeerk pool?
And then Zach just looks at Xander and goes, do you want to take it? Or
Oh shit. Kamren says as he reminded. I cannot do that, Kamren. What the fuck good are you? Nope, I'm just playing.
No, but
Dylan's like,
that's
plus
good idea, bro.
Kamren, there are a lot of people who would die, like innocent people who are just controllers and didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah, but we could be a little bit strategic about where we put the bombs. We could.
There's no bombs, dog. It's not going to happen.
Damn,
Yeah.
I wanted to blow shit up.
Also, like, do you have some C4?
No, but aren't we going to a military base soon?
Not to steal C4?
Unless it's there.
I mean, if we see C4, I'm taking C4.
I
B2,
believe
you
this
sunk my
was-
battleship.
Supposed to be a sort of under the radar sort of mission.
I could.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that C4 is not going to show up on a radar.
Depends on how much you got.
I think Savannah's just looking between Kamren and Dylan right now and just having that realization like, oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Okay. And then he like looks back at Xander and he's like, so maybe fake a message, get the ship blowed up, fake Visser Three's death. But in the meantime, get a whole bunch of info, especially on who's going to be our next problem we got to, deal with.
yeah. I will find out who Visser 4 is and let you all know. And see if I can figure out if there are any other ways that they put people in power, or see the other ways that they do put people in power, so we can know if it will be someone besides Visser 4.
Also, I'm sure you were going to do this anyway, but like if any other high profile Yeerks are coming this way, like give us the heads up.
Yes.
You said, is the Council of 13 on the mothership? Like, what are you talking about? Like, are they here?
They were supposed to be, or hang on, let me rephrase it. They are supposed to listen in on the trial.
Okay, so like via Zoom.
They're on the ship or not, I don't know. I assume some of them will be on the ship.
So some on the ship, but some via Zoom. Okay. And then there's do you know who's his accuser? Like, is that going to be Visser 11 or who else is on the trial, dog?
I believe it is Visser 1.
Okay.
And Visser 2.
And then like he kind of looks, Zach looks at everybody else because we know who that is.
What do we know about Visser 1?
I do not know anything. Her identity is kept secret even from the Yeerks. She is the closest to the Council of 13 than any other Yeerk, and she is allotted special privileges. I do know that she's a female.
That became apparent immediately.
Like, we're talking Hork-Bajir?
I do not know.
All right. I mean, if we could free any other high-profile Yeerk controllers and maybe not kill them this time, that could be extremely beneficial because we could get information that way. Plus, of course, we're free everybody, which is nice.
I also know that there are a few other high-profile Yeerks on the planet that are not part of Visser 3's regime. So there are some of the sash guards for Visser 2. I know that at least one is on the military base that we talked about. But there are also others here on Earth that are just monitoring.
So is that military base, that's under the control of all of the people that are working for Visser 2?
It is not. The ship that is on the military base that Zach pointed out that we know about, that we know a little bit about, is controlled by Visser 3. However, because of what is inside it, and that the Yeerks know that it is something important, it is combined. Visser 3 is not the only one over it. Visser 1 even has personnel in place within the ship.
This is much sooner than I'd like, but this might also be an opportunity to use Visser 3 placing special people or something onto that base, which would allow us access into it that we were previously not able to do.
We've got at least one red sash Hork-Bajir.
We do, but with Visser 3, if it's his people and his base and his power, and you're standing in for Visser 3, she's saying, looking at Xander, then we have a better in than we did before.
Zach, it is important to note that the Hork-Bajir that we have and the DNA that we have, we had an all-out assault on Visser 3 and his guard in that form.
Oh.
They know that we have that.
So he's made. Yeah, all right.
Okay, so we have a lot to do in the next 6 days.
I'm not sure how much I will be able to communicate with you all while in there. I will find time. Is there a time frame that you would like me to check in every so often? Like what is the time frame?
We only have 6 days and it's a lot of information. Would every 24 hours be feasible?
I will do my best.
Okay.
Don't use all 6. I mean, you need that last day to pull off the body swap or whatever, you know.
Okay. So we have till Friday, and then the plan happens on Saturday.
Deja vu.
I guess
Yeah,
so.
He thinks for a second. If we are planning on blowing the cover anyway, not blowing the cover, but ending the Visser's life for everybody else, we could just not show up to the mothership and extend a few days if we needed. We would just play like Visser 3 is on the run.
He's on the run. But see, then whoever kills him would be justified in doing so.
Right.
We need whoever kills him to be punished for it so that we are, you know,
create
eliminating
ripples.
another threat. Yeah. We sowing chaos, right? We got to disrupt shit. They're going to fill these positions again. Like, there's going to be a new Visser 3. We know that. But maybe this will give us an opening and delay their plans long enough for the fleet to get here. Or long enough for us to win.
And if we get really lucky, then perhaps another one of your people that are in disguise in the Yeerk pool might be promoted into a position that can continue to give us intel.
Yeah. Do you have anybody who's a likely candidate for that?
We have a few people that have infiltrated the Yeerks. We tend to stay pretty low on the chopping blocks because we cannot commit violence.
Yeah, of course.
That doesn't mean that they can't pretend to be someone else, just like I am.
Sure.
It would be much easier if we didn't have the programming restrictions. There also may be a way to get through the trial if I do not have to rely on my programming.
So the most important plan now is Visser 3 getting us into the military base.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will see what other information I can find out on that base.
We should be ready to move on that in the next couple days if we can. Like,
as soon as
if we're going to
possible.
do that, we need to do it soon.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then if you have no more questions, I'll make haste.
I'm sure we will have more questions, but I guess for now we're all right.
If I am not able to communicate with you directly, I will get a message to Craig. He has also been busy a few days. I'm not sure if you have been by the warehouse or not, but he's been gone for the most part too.
What has he been up to?
Assisting me in maintaining my position.
Okay.
I will speak to you all tomorrow. And he turns, his form shimmers, and then boom, he takes off into the woods fast. Real fast.
Full sprint.
Well, it's going to be a busy week.
It's been a busy week for the last month and a half. Yeah.
Dylan turns and looks at Maitea. and sees the shock of blonde hair, and she's like, "Fuck, Zach!"
I was about to ask. Yeah, is it time? Yeah.
Oh my
He
god!
goes and sticks his head over the sink.
She like starts dumping water on his hair and is like, it's fine. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna be fine. And pulls out the tinfoil.
I mean, we started like way after Matea, so it should be all right. Like,
Yep.
You all tell me what this looks like.
How long has it been? Austin, give me a time. Tell me how long it's been, and I'll tell you what it looks like.
It hasn't been that long.
How long has it took Mateus?
Well, Matea had dark hair.
All right, we'll say it's been. I mean, but how long do you do that to get Mateus where it's supposed to be?
So for like the dark purple, it would probably. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the texture of her hair is either. There are a lot of factors here. So let's say probably about an hour.
Okay, so we'll say
with
Zach
checking, with lots of checking.
Yeah, we'll say Zach's was probably around the 30-ish minute then.
Okay. Oh boy, howdy. So he has blonde hair.
It's like a sandy blonde.
So some of it, the stuff that we put on last, it looks okay. The stuff that we put on first, it has a springiness to it that is not the texture that hair should be. But it is white. It's so white.
Zach is like looking in the mirror and touching that section of his hair a lot.
It feels gummy.
Cameron's just like staring at you, smiling. He's like a skunk, dude.
I only had 40 volume. I'm sorry.
Skunks
I
have a
didn't-
stripe in the middle, dog. Like this is.
Oh, okay.
clearly-
Matea looks like a skunk then. I
That's
bet
just
your
rude.
skunk can't beat my wolf, Matea. This one's an idiot.
Dylan just giggles at Matea.
You guys, I thought you all had enough of being animals when you get to turn into them, and now you want to look like them when you're humans. What? He looks around and just shrugs at everybody.
Zach starts morphing into orangutan.
Dylan's like, I'm so sorry. Please don't. I'm sorry. Please don't go.
He just morphs into orangutan, and then when it's complete, he morphs back into human like immediately, or demorphs.
High or low?
Ah,
No, come on.
Uh,
Marco didn't get made fun of for his shitty haircut for an entire book for us to put this down to a high-low. That shit stays.
Well, if we had this long talk about whether you can choose about your hair and ear piercings and stuff closing
Yeah,
up.
that was before it was a goof.
So, so how self-conscious is Zach about it?
like a lot.
Well,
Like a lot?
Like a lot.
Oh boy.
He's a pretty
All
boy.
right. Hang on, everything just cut out for a second for me.
Oh no.
What'd you guys say?
We said it would all be fine, and his hair's going to go back to normal.
Yeah, that's what we said. I will say this, even judging by the rules of the conversation we had that was not related to this game at all, that was just related to the rules from Animorphs, the books, if it's part of Zach's subconscious that this exists, I would argue that it's going to be there. Now, that said, it's fucked up dead hair, so I don't know what the DNA, like, make it grow back better. I don't know how DNA
Let's
works.
do this.
I'm not a fucking geneticist.
Your hair's not alive.
It's more alive than brittle, fucked up hair.
An
No.
hour on.
Well,
That
how
hair
come it
is
hurts
just-
when you cut it?
It doesn't hurt when you cut your hair.
Yours
I
doesn't?
scream every time.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
I'm
I
with
just
you,
scream.
Jenna.
Just for no reason. Ah!
I just have so much anxiety about getting my hair cut. So
Yeah. That's why I have a mohawk. No one can fuck with a
Thanks,
mohawk.
same.
Anyway, yeah, so I mean,
Uh,
much as
I'd
I
say,
hate it,
Zach,
I go ahead.
if you're consciously trying to get rid of this, roll a concentration check.
Sure. What is that again?
Roll low,
Constitution?
roll low,
Yeah.
roll low.
14.
You can choose if it stays or not.
Nah, I don't think he can. I think it's fucked up. I think it stays fucked up. Because I think even from the rules we established in the conversation that I was talking about, like, it's in there. It's part of the subconscious now. He can't undo it. Now, that said, he can go get a haircut and try to remove this.
Yeah.
But
I'm just imagining that ending part of Songbirds and Snakes when he gets sent. Like he goes from having the beautiful platinum, curly, wavy blonde hair to the buzz cut when he gets sent to District 12. That's what I'm imagining now in my head. For
Oh my
Zach.
god.
Hunger Games. Okay.
Yeah, the Hunger Games. Sorry.
So Zach finishes demorphing and he's still standing in front of the mirror. He suffered through the whole body horror of morphing and demorphing, staring dead ass at the mirror. And he just gets back to human and he goes, "You guys ready to go?"
Yeah.
I think Savannah's just staring at his hair.
Okay, cool. Zach goes out and just gets in the car.
Oh, Dylan looks around her brain and is like, I didn't. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I don't think it is, man.
Mateo looks fine.
Zach's in the car, so he can't respond to that.
Is everyone just staying with bleached hair then? There is no dyeing portion.
We've had enough dying. Oh, just kidding. Sorry.
Zach and Matea said that they just wanted bleach. And I do think that I should take him home now.
Okay.
I hope Mateo is not faster with that stripe.
Dylan turns and is like, that's good.
Thank you. Kamren grabs a road sandwich.
What time is it? It's pretty late at night, huh?
Yeah. Probably creeping into the morning.
Oh boy, very late at night. Okay. Then I think Savannah will just while everybody's getting ready to go, she's just gonna go over to Aximili and say, I have a lot of ideas, plans here. I think we should discuss perhaps involving Matea in those, and maybe we can sort of pull a fast one on the Andalites as well.
Oh, okay. Is there anything that you need me to do to prepare for this? Or is this something that you'll talk about with me later?
I don't know yet. I think we just need more information.
Yes.
tomorrow, I guess then. And she'll just leave.
All right.
Dylan is
Dylan,
like
anything
throwing
else?
hair dye in the bags. He's just like, I'll. We're good. I'll see you. Bye. Oh man.
Goodbye. She's like looking at herself in the mirror. She likes it. One of her stock eyes is looking down her back.
Nice. And she just rushes out with the bags in her arms and is like, I'm coming. I'm sorry. I'm coming.
You
She puts
guys
the bags
get
in the trunk.
Yeah.
I was gonna say she puts the bags in the trunk and then she goes and gets in the driver's side and like adjusts her mirror and adjusts it. I assume that Zach is sitting in the back seat.
Where did he sit on the way? I thought he sat. Did he sit in the back seat on the way?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 'cause Kamren called
went back to the
shotgun, I
same seat
think.
he had. Yeah.
Yeah. So she adjusts the mirror and like adjusts it to where she can see Zach. She's like, I am so sorry.
So he's we did like the side of his head, right? Like that's where I imagined it anyway, like right here. And so he's like looking at hairstyles that he's already like looking online for hairstyles that like eliminate that section of hair. He's being quiet about it though. Like he's not mad. He's just like fucking looking. He's like, time to change.
I'm so sorry. And she like readjusts the mirror.
No, it's cool. Don't worry about it. And you can roll an insight on that if you want to.
Oh.
I'm going to. Absolutely.
No, he says that out loud. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
You
I
can
guess I
roll a
have to roll
persuasion or a deception. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have to roll deception. I do have advantage on deception, so.
So you believe them?
me.
Okay. All right. And she cranks the car.
And you guys make your way back to Ocean Grove.
I'm making our way downtown.
Does Dylan have a section of hair that's bleached now too? Like, did Dylan do this all at the same time or no?
We were focused on Itea.
Okay.
I figure
Which
both
is why
hands
Zach's hair
for
got messed
that
up.
much hair. Both sets of hands.
Hell yeah.
All right. And where's everybody going?
Zach's going home.
Dylan's going to Savannah's.
Wouldn't it
Cameron's
be fucked
going.
up if I said Savannah's going to Dylan's?
That would have been fun. Honestly.
Fade to black.
Oh, Dylan would be in so much trouble.
Oh no. She's not. Savannah's going home too.
All right. You all get back home and get to your beds and fall asleep for the night. And that would be where we're going to end it. Except Savannah. You can't see. You can't hear. There's only the warm liquid sustenance around you. You bump into other soft objects. The softness moves away. It's calming. And so you get warmer and then hot. The liquid around you begins to boil and the rolling bubbles send you sprawling out of control. No matter what you do, you cannot get your bearings. Parts of your skin begin to bubble up and then burst, sending chunks of you floating away. You feel your head begin to bubble. And as you boil away, you shoot up in your bed. Possum raises his head up from his sleep and looks at you. And that's where we'll end the episode.